Hello and welcome back to the Karma Stories podcast. I'm Rob and I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Today I have two stories for you with updates from the Am I the Butthole subreddit. Before we jump in today, make sure to check out my 3D printing website dangly3d.com where I have marked down pretty much everything on the site. I need to clear out a bunch of inventory, so I've marked down some things up to 50%. And most of the stuff on there by about 25%. So if you wanted a dragon or your own Carmen Chameleon, which has also been marked down, check them out now at dangly3d.com. Alright, so picture this for a second. Your spouse has an ex that's in jail, and your spouse goes to visit them in jail against your explicit wishes. What do you think you would do in that situation? How would you handle it? Would you still be their significant other afterwards? Well, let's see what happens in this case. This story comes to us from Martin and Marvin. It's titled, Am I the Butthole for Visiting My Ex in Jail Against the Wishes of My Girlfriend? I live with my girlfriend Molly and have done for the past 2 years. I love her, and since we're both financially stable, we're thinking of starting a family together. My ex-girlfriend Amy is in jail. She worked in finance pretty high up, already earning great money, but got involved in an illegal scheme to make easy money. Everyone involved has been jailed. I heard about this and thought it was a shame, but we haven't been together for 4 years, so I had no reason to reach out to her. That was until I received a letter from her in the post, where she told me that all her family and friends had cut her off, and asking if I could be in contact with her purely as a friend, so she has someone she could talk to on the outside. I agreed and visited her today. Amy's family are upper-class types who are obsessed with their reputation and so cut their criminal daughter off. Most of her friends are from the same professional circles as her, so they don't want to know her either. I'm her only friend outside the prison. She's a complete wreck of a person. When she saw me, she broke down in tears, as I'm the first person who's ever visited her. Amy doesn't belong in there at all. She's going out of her mind with boredom sitting in her cell. While she has been put on some courses, they are far below her capability. She has a degree in mathematics and numerous financial certifications, and they're only offering her very basic skill courses. She has to wear clothes that are usually over or undersized and have been worn by many others before. From what she said, I think she's being bullied in there too. She said a lot of other women don't like her because apparently she comes across as spoiled and snobby. After the visit, she hugged me and thanked me for coming, and I said I'd try to come once a month. Molly was okay with me seeing Amy beforehand, but when I got home, she said she doesn't feel comfortable. She said if it was anyone else, it would be okay, but the fact I'm going out of my way for my ex frightens her. She asked me if I have feelings for Amy, which I don't, but that didn't satisfy her, and she said she wouldn't feel happy unless I stopped seeing Amy, which I said I wouldn't. I'm Amy's only friend. Why should I let her sit in that crap hole all alone when I can be there just as a friend to help her through it? Looking through the comment section on this one, it's pretty undecided whether OP is the butthole or not. In fact, a lot of people are saying that we need more info. There's one user down below called Blix that said, "You say Amy doesn't belong in there at all. What makes you think that? She obviously does belong in there by a judge, and probably jury opinion. Is this a sign you have her on some sort of pedestal? If she asked you to do her a little favor, would you consider it? Like transfer some money from one of her accounts to another?" So now that we've heard from somebody who's in the middle, let's look at somebody who says OP is the butthole. This user's called HeyFay16 and they said, "You're the butthole. Your current girlfriend is uncomfortable with you seeing your ex for good reason. If you're this forgiving of your ex's transgressions when talking to your girlfriend, it's very fair of her to be concerned. Amy is a criminal, and it's absolutely fair for her friends and family to refuse to support her through that. You seem to be willfully blind to that fact, which I'm sure is alarming to your girlfriend. I'm also going to second the idea of Amy falling in love with you. You're running some high risks here, and your girlfriend sees that. Amy's going to see you as her white knight, the reprieve from prison, where she rightfully is, and along with the fact of your previous relationship, will develop some form of serious attachment. I'd feel threatened if I was your girlfriend too. And dude, once a month? That's excessive. I'd say occasionally on a relatively infrequent, semi-regular basis. Like, don't organize your plans around visiting your criminal ex, only if it works out. And bring your girlfriend. I'm with your girlfriend on this one. It's towing the line for sure. On the other side, a user called Lila Zyke said, "Nah, it's so kind you want to visit Amy in jail, but you shouldn't do so if it's going to jeopardize your current relationship. I don't think I'd be comfortable if my husband visited an ex, especially not once a month. Maybe you should talk to your girlfriend and come to a compromise, like semi-regular visits or phone calls and letters, instead of in-person visits. Ultimately, that's up for the two of you to decide. But side note, if your ex broke the law, she has no one to blame but herself for the situation she is now in. Although I can sympathize with her over her friends and family not visiting, but that doesn't mean you have an obligation to fill that void for her." Alright, the time you've all been waiting for, my opinion. OP, I think you are the butthole. Your girlfriend gave you permission to go the first time and you talked to her about it, but she's not comfortable with you going over and over, which I can understand. If my wife came back to me and said, "I'm gonna go visit my ex in prison," I'd be like, okay, that's weird, but you do you. But if she came back again and said, "I'm gonna go visit my ex in prison every month," I'd kind of be sitting back going, I don't quite agree with that. This is somebody you say you haven't talked to in over 4 years, and now you want to go see them every month because they might be a little bored in jail and don't have many friends. Like, what the F? Tell me you still have feelings without telling me you still have feelings. Because if you didn't still have feelings, you'd be like, oh, they made their bed, now they have to sleep in it. Alright, OP updated this one. Let's get into that now. It's titled, "Update, Am I the Butthole for Visiting My Ex in Jail Against the Wishes of My Girlfriend?" So, Molly and I sat down together and discussed everything. I understood why she was worried, and she understood why I didn't think it was right to leave Amy in that place alone. In the end, I took the advice of one of the comments on the original post. I asked Molly if she'd come with me when visiting Amy. She was very apprehensive, but agreed. Things were obviously awkward at the beginning, but they started to chat and got along. Amy was just grateful to have someone come along, and Molly wasn't going to be rude, so they hit it off well. Amy opened up about what's happening with her. The place is incredibly run down. She's in a cell on the top floor, and the window is cracked, so it's absolutely freezing at night, and the prison only supply a fairly thin blanket. It's overcrowded, and they're putting 2 people in cells built for 1. Amy has to share a tiny cell with a woman who doesn't like her, and who controls the cell, hogging the TV and deciding when they turn the lights out and go to sleep. The food and clothes are awful, and in order to occupy herself, Amy must go to basic literacy and numeracy courses, which she's completely overqualified for. The alternative to that is sitting in her cell, going mad with boredom. Amy was crying her eyes out, but tried to hide it because if the others see her, they'll think she's weak. She's not had any problems with anyone, but apparently some of the others made fun of her posh accent. Her parents, friends, or family haven't made any effort to contact her. Molly was an absolute star. She hugged Amy while she cried and reassured her. I wasn't expecting this at all, but was so proud. She said she'll be happy to be her friend if she needs one. They shared a few jokes too, and chatted about fashion and things like that. Amy even promised she'd give her some of her designer stuff as a thank you when she gets out. In the end, Molly hugged Amy goodbye and promised we'd visit again. Later, Molly admitted she was still a bit unsure over the fact that this was my ex, but she admitted that she could see how much Amy needs friends and people to support her. She thinks it's the right thing to do to see her as much as we can. Amy will be released in mid-2023, so we said we'd see her once every couple of months if we can. Thanks for the advice on the original post, very much appreciated. Alright, to wrap this one up, I think there's a couple of things we need to go over. Number 1, OP and the girlfriend should contact some of Amy's family and see what the reason is that they're not talking to Amy anymore, because I feel like if Amy went to jail for just being involved in some kind of financial crime through her business, that they would still talk to her while she was there. So part of me feels like something else is going on here. Did she financially screw over somebody in her family or multiple people in her family? I just feel like we don't have enough information on why she's there and why the family will not contact her at all. Why is OP and OP's girlfriend the only people that will talk to her? Did she not have friends outside of work before? Like, something's wrong here, and I feel like people have been screwed over. I'd love to know what you all think though. On YouTube, you guys can comment down below, and on Spotify, you guys can leave comments on a podcast as well, so let me know what you think in this case. Is OP the butthole number one? But also, do you feel like there's something else going on here that Amy's just not telling them? Because I definitely do. Our next story today comes to us from Suliji. Am I the butthole for being upset my girlfriend put an AirTag on my motorcycle to prove a point to her mom? I've never made a Reddit post on this sub before, but I read posts from here occasionally. I am going to make my submission as concise as possible, but I'm not a great storyteller, and this whole thing is a little more nuanced than my crappy ability to articulate it. I'm 27 male, and my girlfriend is 33 female. Although our relationship started out very intense and unpredictable, we quickly developed strong feelings, and have been together for 3 years. Despite being together that long, I just met my girlfriend's parents for the first time a few weeks ago. She is an only child, and said she didn't want to introduce anyone she dated to her parents unless she knew this was the person she wanted to marry. Her parents also live abroad, and due to COVID and her dad's health problems, they didn't visit her for a while. She usually went to visit them. It was a big step for her to tell me she wanted me to meet them, and I did my best to make a good impression. I was raised by my grandmother. When she passed, my older sister took over caring for me. My girlfriend has had a stable upbringing. Her parents are wealthy, and she's led a privileged life. We don't have the same life experiences, and it was never a problem until I met her parents. If anything, for some reason, the differences between us added to our relationship in ways. Unfortunately, I got the impression her parents were scrutinizing every aspect of my life over the dinner we had on our first meeting, and this included my family. I stayed true to myself and maintained my confidence, but left the interaction feeling like I bombed a test. My girlfriend reassured me they liked me, but her mood over the few days afterwards suggested otherwise. I called her out on it and pressed her for an explanation. I learned she's been upset because of a fight she had with her mother following the dinner. Her mother thinks I'm just having fun with her daughter, that I will get bored and leave her, and she's too old to be wasting time with me. Apparently, her mother got this impression entirely from the way I look, and this judgment about me trumps anything else I shared about myself. My girlfriend and I decided to have me spend more time with her family over the coming holidays, so I have been going over every day and involving myself in shopping trips, etc. with my girlfriend and her mom, hoping that she would get to know me and overcome whatever skepticism she has. I even spent hours getting a crash course in a strategy board game her dad plays and started playing with him to continue learning it as a form of bonding. Despite feeling like I won her dad over, I felt like her mom was constantly evaluating my loyalty in subtle, unrealistic ways. Examples include overanalyzing how I interact with others in public, reading too much into the way I smile, and the way I show affection towards my girlfriend. According to my girlfriend's mom, the fact that I have a motorcycle makes me extra shifty. And that's how this escalated. My sister and I have an 18-year-old dog. It's been a tough few months for him. I think he's approaching the end. For that reason, usually one of us is always with him. He's on the smaller side, so he's easy to bring along anywhere. I've had to leave to give medicine to my dog at certain times of the day because he's on a schedule, and I guess my girlfriend's mom found even this to be suspicious. The other day, I left my girlfriend and her family to go give my dog his medicine, and on my way there, my phone alerted that an AirTag was traveling with me. When I reached my place, I searched all my pockets and stuff and eventually found it on the motorcycle itself. It was connected to my girlfriend's mom's number. I told my girlfriend, and my girlfriend said she put her mom's AirTag on my bike to prove to her mom that I was not lying about where I was going. I get that she was trying to defend me, but I feel angry at her. It's hard to articulate, but ever since I met my girlfriend's family, microaggressions by her mom are really getting to me, and it's hard to separate them from my girlfriend. Hoping I'm just overstimulated by all this, and things will get better after Christmas is over. I'm not sure if I'm a butthole for being cold towards my girlfriend about the AirTag though, but it's a frustration that I'm having trouble letting go of. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, we have one from a user called Cataphracт Beaver. It says, the most foundational part of a relationship is the trust between two people. The fact that she didn't tell you about it sounds like she also wanted to see what you were doing, because if she trusted you, she should have defended you. Parents are and have been skeptical since the first cave person brought another back to their parents. It's up to her and you to convince them otherwise. You seem to have done a lot, so it may just come down to direct face-to-face conversations with the 3 or 4 of you to really hammer this home. Otherwise, who knows what else will be done next to test your loyalty. OP responded to this one and said, that's what I've been struggling with. The fact that she didn't let me in on her plan makes me wonder if she wanted to test me too. Even if that's not the case, the whole approach has pissed me off. Another commenter down below called Alternative Lie 9486 said, not the butthole. The fact that she's so dependent on her mother's approval raises concerns for me. Capitulating on spying on you so her mother can be satisfied is crossing a line. Your girlfriend is allowing this bad behavior to continue. She should have set a clear boundary from the start. Instead, she is leaning into her mother's nonsense. You have nothing to prove to this horrible mother, but be really cautious about being someone of 35 who is unable to stand up to her mother. Okay, I'm looking at this one from a little bit of a different direction and wondering if the girlfriend's mother may have had some cheating issues in the past with her relationships, and now she's projecting that onto her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend, because from the outside, it doesn't seem quite normal, especially seeing that OP and the girlfriend have been together for over 3 years. There's already stability there, and I guess she's having a hard time seeing that. OP, you do realize that daughters are very likely to mirror the behavior of their mothers as they grow older, right? Good luck with that. Alright, OP has updated this one twice. The first update is titled, My girlfriend's parents surprised me with a visit overseas. I'm considering breaking up with her. We've been together for a few years and have discussed getting married. Unfortunately, ever since I met her parents last year, their behavior, specifically her mom, has made it difficult for me to see a future anymore. Her mom mistrusts me, and it's all based on superficial impressions and assumptions about who she thinks I am. I have tried to show her parents patience, and I've been extremely respectful, giving them opportunities to get to know me and overcome their prejudices. Everything came to a head when I went to visit my home country. I have a place here, and I came to see a friend get married. Her parents showed up unannounced and requested a ride from the airport. I immediately called my girlfriend, despite the time difference, because I was in shock. She claims she had no idea about their plans. They claim it was all impromptu, cheap flight, last minute, etc. I just don't buy it. Anyway, I picked them up and they're currently staying with me in my apartment. They've got no itinerary, but want me to arrange them to see X, Y, and Z, and of course, they need me as a translator. Everything is apparently too foreign to them, and they're lost without me. They refuse to go anywhere without me as an escort. My girlfriend is apologetic, but I just don't see her supporting me in dealing with her parents, especially her mom, who is the instigator. The dad has no backbone and is forced to follow her. I posted another issue a while back too. My girlfriend doesn't support me in setting boundaries, so as her partner, I fall into a rock and a hard place type situation. I can't tell if I'm being cold and uninviting, or if these people are crazy and my girlfriend is so afraid of them she didn't even warn me about something like this. I feel like I can handle anything if she's on my side, but it doesn't feel like she is. Maybe I can't be with someone like that. Jumping into the comments for this one, we have one from a user called Marvelous Mel. It says, tell the parents you are in the country because your friend is getting married, and your priority is your friend and anything else you want to do. They bought their plane tickets with a plan on relying on you for everything without asking you if that was okay. It's not okay, and they need to leave and make their own arrangements. You are there with a purpose that does not include being their host and tour guide. OP, this is turning into a scary situation, and not only because they showed up unannounced to a country where they don't belong, but because you're not getting support from the girlfriend herself. Think about this. If you're going to marry this person, you're not just marrying your girlfriend, you're marrying your girlfriend and her parents. And I know how you said that her dad seemed like he was spineless. Well, you're kind of showing that you are too. They showed up completely unannounced and you're bending over backwards to do exactly what they want, when you should be the focus here, not them. Alright, let's get into OP's last update and hope that OP sees the light. It's titled, Update, My Girlfriend's Parents Surprised Me with a Visit Overseas. I'm considering breaking up with her. I just wanted to clarify some things. I only met my girlfriend's parents for the first time late November 2024. The reason I picked them up from the airport instead of abandoning them or telling them to go find a hotel, etc., was out of respect for my girlfriend and the relationship I wanted to have with her and her parents. After the first meeting I had with her parents in late November that I shared in my first post, I confronted my girlfriend. She apologized and eventually her mother did too. Basically, I thought we were past whatever suspicions and mistrust her mother had about me. Then this happened. In the last few days since this began, I have realized some things about my relationship. My girlfriend has been trying to play both sides. She'll tell me one thing and her parents another thing. She's been hiding some deep trust issues about me and insecurities about our relationship, mostly her fears about me being unfaithful. I want to be clear that these fears are not because of anything that I've done, it's just how she feels. She used her parents to convince me it wasn't her craziness, and I am pretty sure she told her mom how she felt, and her mom was willing to be in on it. I broke up with my girlfriend and asked her parents to leave. The friend's wedding I went to hit different because of that, but it also made me realize how unhealthy and toxic my relationship was. I haven't disclosed a lot, but I think I was in an abusive relationship. I am still struggling to accept that, and there is some shame creeping up that I don't understand. Why is it there? Anyway, thanks for all the messages. Sorry my writing skills aren't that great. I'm so drained from this situation. I feel like I need to sleep for a month. I don't even feel like writing about any of this, but I felt I owed you the conclusion. Jumping down to the comment section on this one, we have one from a user called Craig Hack. It says, to be honest, it might have been for the best that they showed up and made you realize how bad your relationship was for you. Now you will not waste any more time in a relationship that is not good. So the pain is big now, but the future will become better. Another user down below called My Kinks Karma said, OP, I'm so happy to read this update. I remember your post and was like so distraught for you. I had definitely gotten the vibe that it was she who didn't trust you, not her mom, especially because she so conveniently had the spare AirTag and knew exactly where to place it. It seemed incredibly unlikely that her mother, on her first visit, would randomly be drawing a conclusion on that. And to me, it almost seemed like she may have set them up to come spy on you because she couldn't be there. You definitely did the right thing. Check in with a therapist. An abusive relationship can really warp your perception of reality, and you might benefit from a professional helping you process those feelings and questions that you have. OP, I think you saw the writing on the wall in this case. You saw that everything here was crazy, not only her parents, but her, and you just turned the other way and ran, which is the best thing you could have done in this situation. I agree with the commenter that getting into therapy of some sort probably is a good idea to help you process through this whole situation. And I saw that you mentioned in another comment that the breakup was not smooth at all and she became very verbally aggressive. So when you have to go back and get your things from where she is, make sure you take other people with you. Do not be in the place alone with your ex-girlfriend. That will only go bad for you. I'm wishing you all the best in the future, OP. I think everything will work out. If you enjoy daily Reddit stories, I encourage you to follow and give us a rating on whichever podcasting platform you enjoy the most. And if you're watching and listening on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the video. It really helps us out. I thank you for watching and listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.